Good evening. It is Wednesday, 11th December 2024. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight we begin with news that police have identified a man who was shot and killed in Bel Air on Tuesday. Jasmine Duncan has this report.
Whilst many hoped the festive season would breed some form of peace, gun violence is continuing to wreak havoc on Saint Lucia's society. Just 2 days after the island recorded its 73rd homicide, another man was gunned down and has been pronounced dead. According to reports from the Saint Lucia Fire Service on 10th December 2024, about 4 p.m., fire officials responded to an emergency call at New Bel Air Marigot. On arrival at the scene, an adult male was found lying on the ground, conscious and oriented.
Upon assessment, it was observed that he sustained a penetrating wound to his left thigh. He stated that he was attacked by unknown assailants. He was treated, then transported to a medical facility for advanced medical care.
Hours later, news broke out that the man identified as 27-year-old Stephen Udovic, alias a tall boy of Lacqua Marigot, had succumbed to his injury at the Owen King European Hospital. According to police reports, it was said to police officers that he had sustained a gunshot injury during an alleged robbery of a goods vehicle. He was a passenger on the said motor vehicle during the time of the alleged incident. His death, according to local law enforcement, is being ruled a homicide, taking the island's toll to 74. Anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to contact the Marigot Police Station at 456-3895. Alternatively, anonymous tips can be provided by dialing 555, the crime hotline, or by utilizing the RSLPF crime hotline application, which is available on Google Play Store. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
At the edge of Castries Central, a cherished green space is at the center of a heated debate. Serenity Park, once a tranquil retreat for the community, is now the focus of controversy as one resident voices his concern about its ongoing redevelopment. Stevana Francis has more details in this report.
Castries resident known as Buffalo Odlum has criticized the repurposing of the community green space at Serenity Park. Referring to the park as a historical haven for students, families, and seniors seeking peace, Odlum says that its transformation into an entertainment hub featuring an amphitheater was decided with no community consultation and with no consideration of the environmental impact of the construction, adding that consultation only took place during the voting process for MP election.
I live in Castries Central and I have a lot of concerns about the park. To begin with, we know what the park has been used for. As citizens, our holistic development, and we appreciate the park. Now we vote for people, we elect an MP, and during these times, we are consulted. But however, it is not at the whims and fancies of any MP to come and repurpose or reconceptualize a park, which is a green space, which is meant for the senior citizens, the students who want to come and study, the tourists who want to pass, the people who want to see the waterfall, the young people who want to bring their laptops and have a serene experience. Right now it's been turned into a concrete jungle. It is wrong. The residents were never consulted. We do not know what is going on. We're hearing about an amphitheater. We're hearing about stalls and different concessionaires and stuff like that.
Odlum argues that the park's redevelopment undermines its original purpose. His concerns, he says, range from increased noise levels to rising temperatures due to reduced green cover. He also expressed unease about the impact of air circulation and community health.
As we speak, there is a noise ordinance being debated. So that's one of my first concerns. My second concern is the heat signature. Okay, the heat signature. When this concrete starts dissipating, which is about 5-6 o'clock, it dissipates heat that it has collected during the day. These buildings, number one, will stop the flow of fresh air, and they themselves will emit the heat as it dissipates. And the heat signature, in my estimation, will be raised by more than 30%. So I do not believe that the people of Castries Central would agree to what's going on.
Adding to the controversy, Odlum emphasized that multiple alternative venues like the Cultural Center and La Place Carénage could have accommodated the new facilities without disrupting Serenity Park's unique role in the community. Odlum is calling for immediate action, demanding a halt to construction and an open dialogue with authorities whom he says will not speak to him directly.
There are other locations in the area. Right now there's an amphitheater being built on the CDF grounds. We have the Cultural Center. We have even at La Place Carénage, we have a kiosk there, and we have facilities that you could entertain even local and foreigners. So we want to know what is going on at the park, why is it repurposed, and the disrespect that we feel, that this MP feel, he can go out just on his whims and fancies and just sanction this construction, this eyesore, this concrete jungle. And I'm saying to him, I disagree, and I'm sure I will get the support of the people of Castries Central that we want to know what's going on. There should have been more consultation. We want to know on what grounds the DCA approved these buildings and who they consulted, or what was the process. We cannot have an MP who thinks that he can do everything on his whims and fancies when we are the ones put them there. The last time I had concerns about this country and this city, where handrails, pedestrian crossings, and signs were painted in red, I reached out to every authority. Once the name Castries Central was mentioned, everybody was mummified. I could not get the information, and I know if I sought the information as to what is going on at the park, I wouldn't get it. We would not get it.
Minister of Housing and Local Government, Honorable Richard Frederick, has taken to social media in response to Odlum's protest, emphasizing that plans to add an amphitheater were publicized 14 years ago. He asserted that residents and performers alike had since been pushing for him to fast-track the initiative and that important events had since been hosted at the park. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Stivana Francis.
Dr. Ernest Hilaire, during his address to the House of Assembly, sought to clear his name of what he says are mischievous allegations being leveled against him. According to Hilaire, the receipts are there to show he is clear of all what he is being accused of.
So a lot has been said, Mr. Speaker, and the time is coming, because I've been, for the last 3.5 years, the best minister I can be. I've really tried. The best parliamentary rep, but the politics is started. Because the elections is coming in 2026. I can't continue to just try to be best minister and best parliamentary rep. Not anymore, Mr. Speaker. It's time for me to start answering, because I can fight. And Saint Lucians know I can fight back.
Dr. Ernest Hilaire is grabbing the bull by the horns and taking on the many allegations hurled against him. During Tuesday's sitting of the House of Assembly, the Castries South MP, who is the island's Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism and Investment Minister, said enough is enough and he will no longer be chastised by detractors, citing some of the challenges he has had to face.
I've had to read a document sent by the last government to the U.S. Department of Justice, asking them to get permission from Gmail to give them access to all my Gmails, to read my messages and all my emails, Mr. Speaker. I've had to read it. I've had to read, Mr. Speaker. I've had to read Scotland Yard send an email to somebody to interview them because the last government asked that there be a criminal investigation into me. I've had to read it and I've survived it. And look at my margin in the last victory. Despite all of that, what does it say to you, Mr. Speaker?
Hilaire says he has continued to confront each allegation, many of which he says were leveled by the opposition.
Every single day, an attack on Ernest Hilaire. Every single day. To the point saying, accusing me of stealing over $1 billion US. It still baffles me. How does one steal $1 billion US? I mean, maybe only the opposition can think of such a thing. $1 billion and manipulation of figures. And not they alone, Mr. Speaker. They have a lot of people who support them, surrogates, jealous people, all kinds of persons who just want to say things, Mr. Speaker. And it goes on every single day.
Despite this, he says his resolve is to be the best minister he can be under the leadership of Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, and he can only continue to count his blessings. He also added that such allegations have caused him to be heavily scrutinized by his leader and colleagues, but if this is what is required of him, he will comply.
My whole life, my achievements, my journeys, I have to be blessed, Mr. Speaker, and I'm grateful for this. So I stay focused and I work hard. Every single day I wake up, I'm focused on working as hard as I can to fulfill those intentions I have. So I don't let the noise, get the better of me. But it's going on and on and on. And the day of reckoning must come, Mr. Speaker. Must come. It must come. So they've said a lot. They brought in Martinez. Martinez said his piece. He said who Martinez interviewed, Mr. Speaker. And he's going to put me on RICO case, and I'm still waiting for him to put me in the RICO case. And the accusations go on and on of corruption. The Prime Minister called me in and asked me as his minister, have you done anything wrong? And I've had to say to him, Prime Minister, I have not done anything wrong. He asked me in front of my colleagues. He asked me in front of the Attorney General. He asked my colleagues to ask me any question they want to make sure that I accounted for all that was being said. And I will say to the Prime Minister, he can do that anytime any accusation is made. And if anybody should come up with any so-called evidence, I would be the first one to call for an investigation in myself.
Hila maintains that he is a simple man working for the good of the people he represents.
Nobody can say Ernest Hila has bought property in Saint Lucia. Ernest Hila has bought anything. So, Speaker, what I have is very simple. I'm not a materialistic man. I've never had dreams of having money or properties all over the place. I know God gave me knowledge. He gave me skills that I can always use to be satisfied in life. I have less now than I had when I started in politics. Less property now that I had to sell, Mr. Speaker. I don't go and look to buy property to invest, do anything. I hear about accounts everywhere. I have no accounts out of Saint Lucia. I've had, when I worked in Barbados, when I worked in England, when I worked in New York, I've had accounts overseas. I don't have. All my accounts are here. Every cent can be accounted for.
He closed by saying his records are there to prove that he has been operating by the books and he can freely walk away from politics and gain meaningful employment because of his most cherished possessions, which are his knowledge and skills. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Coming up next, Zim Marta, a local musician, is calling for fair pay and rights in the music industry. And the infrastructure minister disapproves of the conduct of the West Coast road contractor. The details to these stories and much more when we come back.